What's up, world? My name is Crystal, and I go by the name Snow. I am a single Christian mother, and God has put it on my spirit to share and navigate my journey with you. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to say hats off to me. Yay! Pat myself on the back because this is my second official video. You probably see three on my page. We'll talk about that in a second. But this is a new channel. In my singleness, I have recorded a few videos in the past. They were God centered as well, but we're not going to go into all of that. I do want to say that if you are a single woman and you are looking to receive content about singleness in a Christian perspective, I would say that evaluates what it's like to be single and Christian without interaction with men and without dating or any of those things. This is not the page for you. Okay? I just want to say that up front because I don't want anyone to waste their time. Got it? Good. So I am single, but as I mentioned in my first video, I have an awesome story to share. This will be the video where I share the story about my singleness along with a man who has been in my life for the past 9 months. So this is actually my third video. I recorded my second video. I did a lot of mumbling and rumbling and fumbling, and it was much longer than what I aspired for it to be. So I decided to go back and redo the video. The video is still on my page. It's very passionate. It's very authentic. I gave a lot more details about some things than what I desired, but they are very valuable if you still want to go back and check out that video. Mind you, the details that I gave that are valuable are about the story that I'm sharing with you. So this second video on my channel is all about sharing this awesome story. Okay? I guess, even though I've done it before, if this is your first time here in my channel, I do want to let you know that I'm not really technically savvy. I haven't really set aside a space to record the videos and get this content out yet. As I mentioned in my first video, God just kind of dropped it in my spirit. So I didn't want to procrastinate. I didn't want to sit on it. I didn't want to get discouraged. I just wanted to get it out. One main reason why I wanted to go ahead and get it out and not just wait or set up an area or, anything else was because sharing this story causes me to be vulnerable, right? It causes me to share some a really vulnerable experience that I've had and some transitions and still some vulnerability that I'm dealing with now. And so trust me, if it was completely up to me, I would not be telling the world this story. But God wanted me to share this story because he wants this page to revolve around balance within single Christian women. And something that I left out before, faith as well. Okay? Strong faith. Not little faith, not weak faith, but strong faith. So that is what the direction of this channel will be. My last video was extremely long. It was 29 minutes, almost 30 minutes. So I'm going to make this smooth and quick, okay? In order to tell you the story about myself in my single journey with this awesome story with this man that has been in my life for the last 9 months, I have to give you a backdrop. Let's make it quick. The backdrop is that I have been single since 2019. I've been single because I had just gotten out of a very, very, very toxic relationship. So the guy that I was with had problems, okay? Real problems, but no one's perfect. So one thing the guy ended up showing me was that the work that he needed to do in me, right? So with him showing me those things, I took a period where I was single. I took a period where I started back dating around. Very, very particular about who I date. very, very cautious about who I date, but I did start dating. I was celibate. I kind of moved away from celibacy and back to celibacy. And then I ended up meeting this guy, this really great, good man. And we dated for 2 years. So when I met this man, we had aspirations for a romantic relationship, and it was romantic for maybe the first 3 months, maybe a little longer. However, around 3 months is when I realized that this man was not the best suited man for me and my son. God showed me some things in him that just didn't mesh well with the needs for us, right? And so, with me saying that, I decided to let him know that I could not see more for us than friendship. So, in the first video, I talked about seasons and I talked about shifts and transitions. And so, this is a point of shifting and transition. So, with the guy from 2 years, we transitioned from romantic so kind of like, I don't know, let's try it out, let's see, maybe. We shifted to just kind of dating and spending time casually. And even though we continue to spend time, we basically eventually shifted into friendship. Okay. I did not lie to the man. I was honest and 100% with the man, and I let him know that I just really couldn't see more than friendship, just him being a friend. So at that point, around 2 years, he did decide to let me know that he was ready to move on. He wanted to move on with his life, to grow, and he wanted to meet a woman who aspired marriage with him, for who he was. Now, I went into more detail on the original second video, which is now the third video. Check it out if you want to, but I'm going to make it brief in this video. It's not that the guy was not good enough, quote unquote. It's more so about the guy. He wasn't motivated to work on the things that he said he would work on, that would benefit him, but not just him. Those were also needs that were needed for me and my son and would benefit me and my son. Those were things that would be needed for me to be in a romantic relationship with him and want to marry him. So cool. That is the backdrop. I'm glad I got it out. Honestly, it took me a little bit longer, but oh well. We're gonna find a way. So that is the good man, the backdrop of the good man. Unfortunately, that is not the man that the awesome story is about. So if I tricked you or if I misled you, I apologize. That is not the awesome story. That's just the layout, okay? So when I stopped dating the guy and stopped seeing the guy from 2 years, I was sad. I grieved about it. We were real friends. We had an authentic friendship. However, what I did not realize initially was that I needed to take time to grieve, right? 2 years, I mean, that's not forever, but that's a good amount of time to get close to someone and create a bond. So I really needed to allow myself to grieve and go through that grieving process, but I did not. Instead, I started talking to someone else. Oh, goodness. And I quickly realized that man was not for me. Like when I tell you, my spirit ended up not being fond of him, we're just going to leave it there. He was not the type of guy that I needed. And so when we came to the end of talking and dating, I started talking to another guy. Now, I left this out of the third video. And I'm getting tongue-tied. Okay. I started talking to another guy. So there was the guy for 2 years. There was this guy that my spirit didn't like. Then there was the third guy. So the third guy, we're going to call him Adam. Now, this is the piece that I left out of the first video, which is very, very important. Okay. The way I met Adam was in a group. There was a little friendship singles group that one guy that I know created, and Adam invited me to a function of his because Adam dibbles and dabbles in music. I wasn't going to go to the function. I'm going to be honest. I told a little white lie and said that I was going, but I really didn't have any intent to go, but I ended up going. So when I went, I met Adam, the guy who created the group was there. And what I found was that Adam and I had like a vibe. You know, we just clicked. We just connected. And so we did a little flirting. We took a whole lot of pictures. Adam posted some of those pictures. And he sent me a friend request. And so that was the beginning of me becoming familiar with Adam. And so after that, Adam asked me out on a date. We began to date. Adam ended up telling me that he was interested in me, but he wanted to go slow. So this is where things get a little juicy and a little complicated, okay? So Adam wanted to go slow. He wanted to go slow because he told me about past traumas and emotional issues, and these were revolving around family and past relationships. So, I was cool with that. Remember, I told you I never grieved from the guy that I dated for 2 years. Okay? At the time, I did not know this, but because I didn't grieve, I was desiring someone to take his place. And so I wanted those same habits. I wanted that same energy. I wanted that same environment. So what ended up happening was when Adam told me he wanted to take it slow, I was like, yeah, I'm fine with that. Whatever you say, we can kick it. We can do this. We can do that. Because I left this out the first video too. I'm not serious, right? So I was interested in Adam, but I initially could not see myself with Adam, and I was not seriously looking for anything. But what happened was, because I didn't grieve over the guy from 2 years, Adam ended up replacing that guy. Okay, cool. And that was all subconscious. That was not something that I was aware of, or in no type of way was I trying to use Adam. After a while spending time with Adam, I realized that I liked him. We had a lot in common. I could be me. We had fun. We had, some of the same circle, and I just really enjoyed Adam. But what really, really drew me into Adam was when I realized that I had a spiritual connection with him. So there was something that God placed in my spirit, and I talked about this in the third video. If you want to watch it, oh my goodness, you can Google, you can read books, passages, so much content on what a spiritual connection looks like, right? And what it should feel like. But the only way I really know how to describe it is that I recognized him, right? Like there was something in his spirit. There was a godliness in his spirit. There was just this spiritual connection. It felt like our spirits knew each other, as crazy as that sounds. I could be me, whether I was silly, goofy, because I'm really goofy, happy, serious, sad. He could be him. And I felt safe with him. He cared about my needs, even when I didn't care. Like, I cared, but even when I didn't want to talk about it. And I mentioned this in the third video, the initial second video. But at the time, I didn't want to talk because I had been having so many transitions, and that's something that I talked about in the first video. So many transitions in my life. I just wanted to be free, okay? I just want to have fun. I just wanted to release, to let loose, whatever that looks and sounds like to you. I probably wanted to do it, okay? I was in a space where I just wanted to be stress-free, and I enjoyed Adam, and Adam was a source of stress-freeness, even though I made that word up, right? So that was what that was. But when I recognized a spiritual connection with Adam, I know that I went into prayer, right? I can't recall exactly when I recognized it, and I was probably praying prior to then because I grew a likeness for Adam, but everything was very early on, like very early on. I remember feeling spiritually connected with Adam around 3 weeks of knowing him. So everything happened really early and really fast, despite the fact that he said he wanted to move slow. In fact, we ended up getting in a relationship within a month's time. And it's kind of funny how it happened. Um, I have to be honest, I had some doubt and fear because Adam wanted to go slow. You know, Adam, his primary thing was not jumping into a relationship, but then he asked me to be in one. And well, less of asking me, but more of telling me. And because I felt this connection with Adam and I had grown to like Adam so much, I just went with it. Like, I was like, yes, girlfriend, yes, 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 yes. Like, I told my mama, I was telling my friends, and I was like, Mama, do you think he's serious? And she was like, just try it. And so, honestly, I was probably going to follow my heart and try it anyways because I told you that I really felt connected with Adam. This is the part that I did a lot of mumble jumble on in the original second video. And I want to find a way to sum it up. What I realized by watching that third video was that I gave a summary at the end. So what I'm going to do with my story, excuse me, is I'm going to summarize it now. And then I'll go back and give details as time allows because I'm looking at the clock and I'm almost at 17 minutes. So, to summarize the story between me and Adam, I met Adam, we had a vibe, we clicked. After spending time and dating Adam, I realized a spiritual connection with Adam. We jumped into a relationship within a month. Okay. Adam wanted to move slow, and I never forgot that he wanted to move slow, but we tend to have a set of expectations in our mind, right? According to society, according to what we're used to, how things should look. So when Adam asked me to be with him, I expected the relationship to look and be so much different than what it was. However, I didn't realize that the relationship didn't change as much because Adam wanted to go slow. He was very cautious and particular about that. I can't even say I didn't realize it because he reminded me that he wanted to go slow. I just did not. I didn't realize what slow for him was and what slow would look like in a relationship. And I also didn't understand the benefits of the time at the time of going slow. So we got into a relationship. Adam wanted to go slow, and I was moving much faster than Adam. I wanted things to just be how relationships are known to me to be. Like, I didn't want to remember the traumatic past and emotional issues that Adam had. Adam happened to be the type of person that distances himself when he's stressed, when he's emotional, when he, is feeling vulnerable or acts to be vulnerable, or, when he has a lot on his plate. And so Adam was aware of that piece of him that that could take away from the relationship. And so that's the primary reason why he wanted to go slow, because he felt that he wasn't equipped and he wanted to be there, but just not moving as fast. So after a while, I pulled at the relationship. And honestly, I didn't realize the pulling that I was doing because, like I mentioned, I didn't know his level of needs or anything about his needs because we jumped in it. And so eventually, Adam and I started taking steps back, and like a whole lot of steps back. And that triggered anxiety in me. But let me go back a second, because prior to us taking steps back, when I noticed that Adam was a very peculiar type of person and that he would distance himself, I was extremely anxious. Anxiety will always rise up in me. And it was something that I had experienced in past relationships, in toxic relationships. And so that was the second thing that God showed me. That's when God showed me myself and things about myself that I needed to work on prior to Adam. So I felt a spiritual connection, and then God showed me ways I needed to work on myself. So when God showed me these ways I needed to work on myself, in the midst of that, like I said, we began to go backwards. So we went from boyfriend and girlfriend to some type of together exclusive to dating to friendship. And so within those changes, what happened was Adam broke up with me. And so I was concerned about losing the person. First of all, I was scared the whole time that he was gonna hurt me, because I hadn't taken the time to heal, and he was very peculiar and had his own issues. So I was scared that he was gonna hurt me, and I was afraid of losing him. So when he broke up with me, I was afraid, but he did it to free me. So let me take some steps back. When I started to see the anxiety in myself, and God revealed that to me, and he also revealed Adam's issues, and I could see them show up in a relationship, God spoke to me and he told me that now was not the season. And I mentioned this in the original second video. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Stefan Speaks. He talked about, or he had a topic called, what was it called? Right person, wrong time, or right man, wrong time. If you are finding yourself in a situation that's kind of maybe complex, or you can see that you all might have baggage, or just trauma or wounds or anything that may need to be worked on, but you are aspire to keep going or have a future, I definitely encourage you to find Stephen Speaks on YouTube and watch that video, Right Person, Wrong Time. So anyways, prior to him breaking up, God had already showed me that we were not supposed to be in a relationship. And I started to talk about it, but I never mentioned that to him. And so when he did break up with me, I was on board, right? I didn't have peace about it initially. And honestly, it took me months to have peace, because like I told you, I was so afraid that he was going to hurt me, that he was going to leave me. And those were my wounds showing up, right? Those were areas of me that I needed to work on. I went into a period of depression, and it wasn't Adam that caused these things. It was a couple of things. It was me being disobedient, and it was me not trusting God, and it was other areas of my life as well that were just shifting. Okay. So I'm at 23 minutes. I'm gonna see if I can end this at 25, because I'm almost at the length of the last one. But anyways, me and Adam broke up, but Adam broke up with me to free me. Adam decided that, look, when I distance myself, I hurt you. When I can't follow through, I hurt you. If something comes up, I hurt you. And I need to work on myself. I'd rather work on myself emotionally, spiritually, mentally, financially, and grow and be someone that you can grow with and gain from and have a productive relationship with, rather than keep you now and hurt you. So when we broke up, I accepted it and I agreed. So how can I wrap it up? The reason that I said the awesome story was about a man that has been in my life for 9 months is because Adam is a friend. Adam is not my boyfriend. I'm a single woman. But in this journey, God showed me that I needed to have faith in him. There were a couple of things that God put in my spirit, because this entire time I had been and still am staying at the feet of Jesus, praying, asking for confirmation, asking him to order my footsteps. And he showed me and told me a few things. So those things were to pay attention to his fruits. And if you are attentive to the fruits of his spirit, then you will see that he is a good man and you don't have to be afraid. God told me that I have created pathways for you. And so what I found myself doing was trying to create my own pathways because I was afraid that letting go or something else would hurt. Another thing that God told me was to trust the things that I've put in your spirit. And the first thing that God put in my spirit was the spiritual connection. And like I said, told you, I continued to pray, and there was nothing negative that God ever placed in my spirit about this man. The last thing that I would say that makes this story awesome with this man is that, like I told you, I was stressed and I wanted to be stress free. And I was out of church, y'all. I was disconnected with God. About a month in, Adam asked me to go to his church. And this is a detail that I left out the original second video. The church that Adam attends is his family church. So when I got there, I was like, hold up. Because I was seeing friends that I had already met and I never knew that they were church friends. And so he put me in this church where I could grow. And I received a lot of growth there, and where I was around his family and friends. And that was a blessing for me. A lot of people disagree, especially since we were in a relationship and that we're no longer in a relationship. A lot of people around me feel like, why would somebody want to be your friend? And he don't want nothing. And he's just trying to get over on you. And he's just trying to pass time. But God showed me something different. Okay. And I'll elaborate on that at a different time. But Adam has been extremely interested in my spiritual growth, my personal growth, my financial growth, my career growth. And even though Adam and I have decided to only be friends, Adam has never left me, even though he's become distant at times. He's never left me. He's never tried to leave me. I have tried to leave Adam several times, okay? But Adam has never left me. Adam has always accepted me back, and both of us aspire a future. So that is the awesome story that I wanted to share with you. I've been talking a lot about the third video. I might go back and delete it because these videos are just about the same length. But I do feel like that this video would be more effective because I was able to cover more important details. And those details were around obedience to God and having faith in God. And faith is just us believing in the things even when they don't seem that way, when they don't look that way. So thank you for joining my channel. Thank you for hearing my story. This is the foundation to the navigation of that will navigate all the content on this page. The next video that I'll upload will be about some of the things tongue-tied. Some of the things that I experienced that rose up in me, like anxiety and fear and depression. So I'll definitely get into those things and how God has shown me to navigate those things as a single woman, as a mother, and as a Christian, and also as a single woman interacting with men. I hope that there was something beneficial for you today that you were able to gain. God bless. I'll talk to you soon.